Hello students, welcome to English channel. Welcome to Sri Vidya Bharati Metric Higher Secondary School, Sakarambalayam, Namakkal. In plus 2, so far we have completed 4 units and 5th unit is running. In 5th unit we have completed 5th prose chair and then supplementary. Okay, so now we are going to see the 5th unit vocabulary and grammar. So this video deals with the grammar part. So in 5th unit we have what all the grammar parts we have. So the first one is non-finite verbs and then degrees of comparison and articles and determiners. So totally we have 3 topics in this 5th unit. So today I would like to share the importance of non-finite verbs. So this is very important. Okay, so before going to the book back exercises and definition, so let's discuss with the help of the clippings. Okay, so what is verb? So verb, you know very well, action word is verb. So if we divide the verb, so we can divide the verbs, is it or not? So first one is finite verbs and then non-finite verbs. So in this unit what we have? Non-finite verbs, isn't it or not? So what is verb? Verb is an action word. Okay, when we divide the verb we can get 2 parts, that is finite verb and then non-finite verbs. Okay, and the types of non-finite verbs are participle, gerund and then infinitives. Okay, so you should know what are the types of non-finite verbs, that is participle, gerund and then infinitives. Okay, so see what is finite verb. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. What is finite verb? So non-finite verb, you know very well, we have 3 types. Okay, and finite verb means what? Let's see the definition. Finite verb definition is a finite verb has a subject and shows tense. Note it down. So the finite verb has a subject and shows tense form. For example, the thief escaped again. So see, the thief is a subject. Escaped is a finite verb. Okay, and what I told, it shows tense. So escaped means what? Comes under tense, past tense form. Got it? So finite verb has a subject. Definitely a finite verb should have a subject and it shows tense. So that is finite verb. Okay, one more example. Sarah is crying with joy. So see, a finite verb should have a subject. So here we have subject is Sarah. And which one is the finite verb? Is. And it shows the verb form. Is it not so? Is. It's a present tense. Sarah is crying with joy. So I think you're clear enough. So finite verb, it has the finite verb has a subject and it shows the tense form. Okay, then see, so finite verbs depend and non-finite verbs not depend on. So finite verbs depend on, already we told finite verbs has a subject and it shows the tense form. So the finite verbs depend on person, number, subject and time. So note it down. Finite verbs depend on person, number, subject and time. Whereas non-finite verbs don't depend on person, number, subject and then time. Got it? So the finite verb has a subject and it shows a tense form and it depends upon person, number, subject, time. Whereas non-finite verbs does not depend on, it don't depend on the person, number, subject and time. Okay, and then so what is the difference between finite verb and non-finite verb? So finite means what? Verb is limited by the subjects, number and person. Whereas infinite means what? Verb is not limited by number and person. Okay, And non-finite verbs, a verb whose meaning is not limited by subject, person and number. I mean, it is not depend. Okay, the non-finite verb not depend on subject, person and number. Okay. So finite verb, as I said, finite verb shows agreement with a subject and is marked for tenses. Got it? Yes. Finite verb shows agreement with a subject and it's marked for tense. I love parades. She loves parades. Pop loved parades. It shows the tense form and it has a subject. Okay. Then see the definition. In your textbook, page number 154 and 155, we have non-finite verbs. Okay. So see the definition first. Textbook definition. So what they have given, non-finite verb, also known as a verbal in term. So non-finite verb is the term to describe a verb that does not show tense, whereas finite verb shows the tense, whereas non-finite verb doesn't show the tense form. In other words, it is a verb form which does not function as a verb. Okay, so there are three verbal: gerund, infinitives and participles. Okay, all these are formed from verbs but are never used alone as action in tenses, in sentences. Instead, verbal function as nouns, adjectives and adverbs. So that's what they have given. So gerund, and gerund means you know very well, ing formation, infinitive to, and then participle you know very well, present participle we have and then past participle we have. So present participle means that a verb that ends in ing, that is present participle, whereas past participle means what? Participle may function as adjective describing or modifying nouns, that is ed, d, t, en, like that. Got it? Okay, so this is the book back definition which they have given, and see, so these are all the exercises they have given in the textbook, page number 154 and the 155. Okay, let's discuss one by one. So unit 5, non-finite verbs. Finite and non-finite verbs. Words which denote an action are known as verbs, that we know very well. We classify verbs into two types. They are finite and the non-finite verb. My brother goes to temple daily. We have already finished the projects. So here we have the subject verb agreement. So that means what? Finite verb has a subject and it shows the tense form, we told. It shows the tense form or not? My brother is a subject, goes to temple daily. So goes to means what? It's a habitual action. So habitual action is used in the present form, is it or not? So it shows the tense form. We have already finished the project. So perfect tense, present perfect tense, just completed action. The words printed in bold letters are finite verbs, indicate the tense and time of action. Finite verbs undergo a change as and when the subject, a number or person changes. Okay, got it or not? Whereas non-finite verbs do not indicate the tense and time of action. Non-finite do not change even when the subject, number of person changes. Okay, so see, there are three kinds of non-finite verbs: an infinitive, a gerund, a participle. My son likes to watch cricket matches. So that is infinitive, to watch. Playing chess is my hobby, gerund. Driven out of the kingdom, the king hid himself in a forest. So participle. Okay, so see, these are all the book back examples which they have given in page number 154 and 155. Okay, so see, there are three verbals: gerunds, infinitives and participles. All these are formed from verbs but are never used alone as action words in sentences. Instead, verbal functions as nouns, adjectives and adverbs. So gerund ends in ing and is actually a verb from but it functions as a noun too. Jumping is fun. So subject to a verb. My son enjoys seeking. Okay, object to a verb. Mrs. Kala has a unique way of teaching. Object to a preposition. It is no use crying in opposition to a pronoun. Got it? And then infinitive means what? The infinitive is the base form of verb with to. Usually it functions as a noun, although it can also function as an adjective or an adverb. So to jump is fun. Subject of the verb is. My son likes to ski. That means what? Direct object of the verb like. I have suggestion to offer. Adjective modifying suggestion. The manager called her to give a last warning. Adverb modifying the verb called. Participle, as I told, present participle and then past participle. A participle is a verb that ends in ing, present participle, or ed, past participle. Participles may function as adjectives describing or modifying nouns. The dancing parrots entertained the crowd. So present participle. The wrecked sailboat washed up on shore. That is past participle. Non-finite verbs have no subject and do not change according to the tense or number. That we know, that we said already. So gerund means what? Walking is healthy habit. Infinitive, I like to walk early in the morning. These are my walking shoes. So present participle. Okay, and then past participle, having walked a long distance, I felt tired. Having walked a long distance, I felt tired. And let's come to the book back exercises. The gerund ends in ing and is actually a verb form, but it functions as a noun too. Jumping is fun. Got it? My son enjoys skiing. Mrs. Kala has a unique way of teaching. It is no use crying. Okay? And then infinitive means what? To jump is fun. My son likes to ski. I have a suggestion to offer. The manager called her to give a last warning. A participle is a verb that ends in ing, as I said. Participles may function as an adjectives describing or modifying nouns. The dancing parrots entertained the crowd. The wrecked sailboat washed up on shore. Okay? So see the task. Underline the gerund. So here the gerund is playing, eating, bothering, painting, dancing. Boys love playing cricket. I love eating ice creams. Jessie enjoys bothering others. Painting is an interesting hobby. Dancing gives me joy. Okay, and then use the gerundial form of the verb in the brackets and fill in the blanks. Okay, see, dash is good for health. So exercising is good for health. Dash a kite is fun. So flying a kite is fun. Dance is my favorite hobby. Shopping is my favorite hobby. My friend waited for the meeting. And then Huckleberry Finn was responsible for signaling. Okay, and then infinitive. Filling the blanks with correct infinitives. Deva forgot dash the letter. So bracket they have given post. So Deva forgot to post the letter. And then to take, to receive, to drink, to watch, to make, to study, to generate, to get, to go. Deva forgot to post the letter. The doctor advised the patient to take his medicines without fail. Rajesh went to the airport to receive his friend. The bear climbed up the tree to drink the honey. The boys went to the forest to watch birds. I tried hard to make both ends meet. The archaeologists are trying to study the ruins of Kiladi. Solar energy is used to generate electricity. To get concession, you have to apply well in advance. We have plans to go to London during summer vacation. Okay? So combine each of the following pairs of sentence using participles. The first one is done for you. I didn't know what to do. I phoned the police. So this type of questions they may ask in simple, compound and complex sentences. So this is very important. We have to join, so combine each of the pairs of the sentence using participles. So by using participles we have to combine the sentences. Okay, so here infinitive we have added 2. Okay, but here we should use the participle. Okay, so not knowing what to do, I phoned the police. So not knowing, ing form. And then the baby cried. She was feeling sleepy. So feeling sleepy, the baby cried. He lived alone. He had forgotten everybody. Living alone, he had forgotten everybody. Having forgotten everybody, he lived alone. Got it? And then she walked out. She was smiling. So giving a smile, she walked out, or she walked out smiling, or we can say having walked out smiling. And then the child says he needs attention. He shouts loudly. Shouting loudly, comma, the child says she needs attention. I threw the pen, it was broken. I threw the broken pen. Easily we can join. Or you can say being broken, comma, I threw the pen. Being broken. His coat is tattered. It needs mending. His tattered coat needs mending. Got it? His tattered coat needs mending. And then I heard the noise. I turned around. Hearing the noise, I turned around. He was dissatisfied. He quit his job. Being dissatisfied, he quit the job. That's all. The politician entered the campus. He was accompanied by many comrades. Accompanied by many comrades, comma, the politician entered the campus. The girl entered the room. She was singing a song. Singing a song, comma, the girl entered the room. Okay? So take a screenshot. These are all the very important examples. So make use of it. Okay? So take notes in your grammar note. Okay? So take a screenshot and just read what I have explained in this video, and in the next class we'll discuss articles and determiners. Thank you students. Presented by N. Ramesh Kumar, HOD Department of English, Sri Vidya Bharati Metric Higher Secondary School, Sakrapalayam, Namakkal.